So a couple things here that we need to fix. One, we lost our margin here between the title and the text and the title and the icon. That's easy enough. And then also, because we're bumping the margin up here to negative so it overlaps its containing element, it moves outside of the bounds of this, which means that it ends up overlapping on the border here. And we can also see the icon overlapping on our text right here. So let's get this squared away. First of all, let's deal with the margins here. So again, we had a margin bottom of 10 pixels, I believe, and then the margin top of, I think it was 42 pixels. Yep, that looks pretty good. All right, so we'll adjust that for the icon box title, which is this selector right here. And let's set the margin top. And now let's go ahead and set this to use REM. So we'll do px2 REM. We'll pass it 42. Now we could also calculate this like we did with our icon here, because its spacing from the top of the box is actually relative to the size of the icon. But I think what I'm more worried about is the size of the box changing rather than the size of the icon. But I think it's more likely that we would want to be set up in order for the box to be able to change sizes and still keep the icon centered, rather than the icon changing sizes. So for now, we'll just stick to not using a calculation, and later of course we can come back in here and change this if we need to. And then we'll set the margin bottom, and we'll use the px2 REM and set it to 10 pixels. And now the last thing we need to do for this part is to bump this down. Now the section here, if we look at the margin and padding, it has some good spacing here between it and the border above. So we'd want to maintain whatever that is. So that's going to be about 32 pixels. So basically what we need to do is add padding that equals half of the height of the icon. So that's going to be 50 pixels. Let's give that a shot and see if that works. So here I have our section selected, and I'll do a margin top of 50 pixels. Okay, so that gets us to the point where the top of the icon is at the bottom of this. So we'll need to add that 50 pixels to the 32 pixels that was originally between the top of this and the top of this. So that's going to be 82 pixels. Okay, that looks good. Let's move that over to our style sheet. So this is going to be in our icon box, and we'll set the margin top to 82 pixels. And again, we'll put it into the px2 REM equation. Let's refresh. That looks good. And also if we scroll down, we get some nice padding between our boxes as well. And this will be useful once these start cascading on top of one another.